Hello, students, and a very good morning to you. Students, today we will discuss the second part of chapter 3 of class 8 science, that is synthetic fibers and plastics. In our first part of this chapter, we have studied about fibers. Then we have discussed about synthetic fibers, where we have discussed about so many types of synthetic fibers as rayon, nylon, polyester, acrylic, and spandex. Then after that we have discussed about the advantages and disadvantages of synthetic fibers. So students, in this part we will discuss about plastics. As we all know that everything around us, most of the things, they are made up of plastics, because plastics are very common material which is present around us. We use a large number of articles, large number of materials which are made up of plastics. As for example, all the things that are present at our home, as for example plastic chair, table, buckets, mug, your toothbrush, your pencil box, tiffin box, scale, toys, and so many things are there that we use. They are made up of plastics. Students, just like synthetic fibers, plastics are also made up of polymers. As in synthetic fibers, we have studied that some monomer units are there. When monomer units, they combined in the form of a large chain, they form polymer. So just like that, plastics are also made up of polymers. They may also present in a form of linear way, or they may present in cross-linked fashion. So as for example, we are taking one example as polythene. So we know that polythene is a plastic. So that polythene is a type of plastic which is made up of a polymer, and its monomer unit is called ethene. So ethene is a monomer, and when it combine together in a large chain form, then it make a polymer, and polymer of ethene is called polythene or polyethylene. So plastics are also monomer, just like synthetic fibers. Now, properties of plastics. So plastics are durable. Durable means they last for very long time, and they can take the wear and tear of daily life, means they are very strong and they do not get broken easily. They last for very long time. Plastics are resistant to weather condition, means they do not get affected because of weather conditions. They do not rust or corrode. Plastics are strong and they are lightweight. Plastics are easily moldable. Moldable means they can be shaped in different forms. And inexpensive. Inexpensive means they are cheaper as compared to materials which are made up of wood, glass, or metals. Plastics are very inexpensive. Then they can be melted, colored, recycled, and reused. These two properties are very important for plastic, that they can be recycled and reused. They can be rolled into sheets and drawn into wires, means they can very easily, we can make sheets and wires from plastics. They are non-reactive. Non-reactive means generally they do not react to anything, means they are insoluble in water. They do not react with chemicals in normal condition. So that is why they are non-reactive. But they are heat sensitive. Heat sensitive means when we will heat them, they will melt upon heating. So these are the some common properties of plastics. Next two properties are very important, and you know about it also. Plastics are bad conductor of heat and do not show thermal conductivity. It means plastics are bad conductor of heat, means plastics are insulator of heat, we can say. So they allow very little or no heat to pass through them. That is why they show they do not show any thermal conductivity. They cannot pass, or they cannot allow the heat energy to pass through them. That is why they do not show thermal conductivity. And just because of this reason, plastics are used to make the handles of electric irons, heating pans, and so many other things. Okay, so we can do one simple experiment to know that whether the plastics are bad conductor or not. So for this thing, what we have to do, we have to take a simple, suppose we are taking any container, any tumbler we are taking, and in that we will fill hot water. Okay, now in that hot water we will dip one metallic spoon. This is the metallic spoon and this is the plastic spoon. Then leave both the spoons in that hot water for some time. After some time, when you will touch the metal spoon, then the another end which is not dipped in water, when you will touch that end of the metal spoon, obviously you will feel that it will become hot. It became hot. Okay, it means metals are conductor. But when you will touch the plastic spoon, then you will feel that it will not be hot. You will not feel it that it is hot. Why? Because plastics are bad conductor of heat energy, and it will not become hot when it is dipped in hot water. It means plastics, they do not show thermal conductivity. They cannot conduct heat energy. Next thing, plastics are bad conductor of electricity and they do not show electrical conductivity. So for this thing, what we have to do, simple circuit we have to make, as you have studied in your previous classes also. And at the place of switch, you have to use one conductor. Suppose you are taking graphite or you are using any metallic item, and when you will use this conductor or any metallic item here, then very easily electric current will flow and your bulb will start glowing. But when you will use any plastic item, suppose you are using plastic pipe, in that case your bulb will not glow. Why? Because through this plastic item, electric current will not be able to flow. It means plastics are bad conductor of electricity and they do not allow electricity to pass through them. That is why plastics are bad conductor of electricity and they do not show electrical conductivity. So these two are the very important properties of plastics. Now students, next topic in this part is types of plastics. So plastics can be classified as thermoplastics and thermosetting plastics on the basis how they react to heat. Means on the basis of their reaction to heat, plastics are classified as thermoplastics and thermosetting plastics. So first of all, we will discuss about the thermoplastics. Thermoplastics are also called as thermoplasts. When we heat them, thermoplastics, when we heat them, then either they melt or they become soft, and on cooling again they become hard. So this property is very important, because just because of this property that on heating they melt or they become soft, they can be remolded or reshaped very easily. When we heat them, they melt or they become soft. So at that time they can be given shape, different type of shape, means they can be remolded or reshaped, and on cooling again they become hard. So this property is very easily, and this property of the plastic where they can be remolded, it is called plasticity. So thermoplastics have very good plasticity. They can be remolded. That is why recycling of thermoplastics is very easy. The examples are polythene, PVC, that is polyvinyl chloride, polystyrene, Teflon, etc. These are the examples of thermoplastics. They are used in making bags. Making bags means polythene bags. Then toys also. Covering of electrical wires. So this PVC, polyvinyl chloride, it is a very good electrical insulator. Means it is very bad conductor. Doesn't allow electricity to pass through it. That is why it is used to make covering of electrical wires, electrical tapes also. Then it is also used in making floor tiles, hose pipes, containers, raincoats, car seats, and waterproof coating of folders and bags also. Then polystyrene, this polystyrene, it is very lightweight, that is why it is used in making insulating packaging materials. And except that, hot drink cups also, they are made up of polystyrene. Then plastics, these using thermoplastics, all these chair, tables, and all recyclable materials, plastics that can be recycled, they are made up of thermoplastics. Now next type of plastic is thermosetting plastics. So thermosetting plastics, they are also called as thermosets. They are just opposite to thermoplastics. They do not get deformed on heating, means when we heat them, they will not become soft. When they molded once, at the making of the materials, when we are making thermosettings, they are molded only once, and after that, on heating, they cannot be softened, means they will not become soft, or they will not melt. That is why they cannot be remolded, they cannot be given different shapes, means they are having no plasticity, means they cannot be remolded, they cannot be given different shapes. Then the examples are bakelite and melamine. So bakelite, it is poor conductor of heat and electricity as well. That is why they are used in making handles of utensils, electrical plugs, switches, combs, etc. Then melamine is fire resistant, and it has very better heat tolerance property also as compared to other plastic. That is why they are used in manufacturing fire resistant fabrics, except that they are used in making floor tiles, utensils, and kitchenwares also. But one problem is there, recycling of thermosetting plastics are very difficult because they cannot be remolded. Now, uses of plastics. So we all know that plastics, they are used in making buckets, mugs, bottles, toothbrush, comb, boxes, chair, table, means so many things we can see around us which are made up of plastics. Then plastics are used in healthcare industry also. They are used for packaging injections, tablets, for stitching of wounds, and they are used in the production of a number of medical instruments. They are used in making gloves also. Then plastics, they are used in manufacturing non-stick cookwares. So for non-stick cookwares, we use Teflon. Teflon, we all know, Teflon is thermoplastic. It is thermoplast, and this Teflon has very high melting point, so it does not stick to any material which we cook on the pan. So this thermoplast, that is Teflon, it makes cooking very effective, and the pan, it is cleaned also very easily. So Teflons, they are used in manufacturing non-stick cookwares and various crockery item also. Then they are used to make electrical wires and handles of tool, because we know that they do not show any electrical conductivity. They are bad conductor of electricity. Then they are used in making plugs, switches, and handles of various utensils. We know bakelite is used in this process. Then they are used in making fire resistant fabrics, kitchenwares, and floor tiles. We know melamine, which is a thermoset, it is used in this process. Then they are lightweight and durable. That is why they are used in making various parts of aircrafts and cars. Now, plastics and the environment, means what are the effect of plastic on our environment. We know that we are using lot of plastic in our daily life. all the things that we see around us, most of the things, they are made up of plastics. So what are the advantages? Because when we use something, after some time it become waste, means after the some time we cannot use it anymore. So we produce lot of plastic waste every day. So what are the ill effect of plastics, or what are the disadvantages of plastics? Plastics are non biodegradable. It means they cannot be degraded by the microbes like bacteria and fungi. They cannot be decomposed very easily by the natural process, and they take more than 100 years to decompose, which is a very long time. So plastics are non biodegradable. Then plastics on burning, they release many poisonous gases. First of all, when we burn them, they will not completely burn, and on burning they release many toxic gases, and these gases, they pollute the environment also, and they cause very ill effect on our health also. Sometimes they can cause cancer also. Then plastic waste like polythene bags, wrappers, etc., when we use them, after using, we throw them here and there, and they reach to the drains, they get collected there, and they become the home of many disease causing germs. They become the home of mosquitoes also. It will becomes the breeding place of the mosquito, and they causes malaria. And after that, they become the home of many other disease causing microorganisms. Then sometime what happened, people used to fill garbage in plastic bags, and they throw it on the road. And such plastic bags where some food items are present, they can be eaten by stray animals, which become very harmful for them. Sometimes it results in their death also. Then plastics, when they buried in the soil, suppose plastic waste are buried in the soil, then what happened? They will be there, they remain there for a very long time, because soil microbes like bacteria and fungi, they cannot decompose them as they can decompose other waste, biodegradable waste. Plastics cannot be degraded, and when they are there in the soil, then what happens? They do not allow rainwater to seep into the ground, and just because of this, soil quality will also be affected, and plant roots, they will not get sufficient water, so it affect the growth of plants, as well as it affect the life of living organisms of soil. So these are the harmful effects, these are the ill effects, or we can say these are the disadvantages of plastic on our environment. Now students, last topic of this chapter is measures to reduce plastic pollution, means how we can reduce the plastic pollution. So for this, we should follow the 3R principle, that is reduce, reuse and recycle. This 3R principle is very easy, and each and every individual can follow it. And you have studied about this principle, the 3R principle, you have studied in your previous classes also, that is reduce, reuse and recycle. So first of all, reduce. Reduce means how to avoid plastic use, means how to avoid the use of plastic. When we avoid the use of plastic, then we will generate very little amount of plastic. So first of all, we should control ourselves to use plastic. We should minimize the use of plastic. When we minimize the use of plastic, then we will generate very little amount of plastic. Okay, so suppose if you are going for shopping, so instead of carrying the plastic bag or polythene bag, you can use jute bag or cloth bag or recyclable paper bag also. So this will be a good choice instead of taking plastic bags. Okay, so we should try to minimize the use of plastic materials. Next thing is reuse. Reuse means again using the plastic item. Suppose you are using some plastic materials, And after the use of that plastic materials, what we generally do, we used to throw them away. Okay, but instead of throwing, we can reuse them. Suppose we are having a plastic bottle, so suppose after using that plastic bottle, we can use it as a pen or pencil holder, or we can make small flower pot also. Okay, suppose plastic box is there of sweets or biscuits, so we can use them for storing some other material, some other things. So this is the simple reuse of plastic items. Next one is recycle. Recycling means when the first of all we collect the plastic items, then we break down them. Okay, and after breaking them down, we can use them as raw materials for making some new items, for some new things. Okay, so these plastic items, they are recycled. In that process, these products, they can be reshaped and they can be used for some other purposes. So these are the three principles, that is reduce, reuse and recycle. At least at our level, we can use reduce and reuse, these two principles, and this recycling we can promote it by collecting the plastic waste, and when we give them to the kabadi wala, these plastics, they can be sent to the factories where they can be recycled. So these are the 3R principles. Except that what we can do, suppose we are generating the plastic waste, we should not throw them here and there, we should not throw them on road. Especially, we should not fill any type of garbage or any type of eatable in the plastic bags, because stray animals, they are in search of food and they use to eat that plastic bags along with the food items also. So that will be very harmful for them. Except that we should not throw the plastic items in rivers or in any water body also, because it can contaminate the water also. If plastics are dumped in the soil, then they can stop the growth and movement of plants also. It affects the plant growths. That is why we should avoid doing all these things, and we should avoid the use of plastic. If we are using plastic, then we should very properly we should dispose of them. Okay, so these are the measures through which we can reduce plastic pollution. Thank you, students.